It's time.
This is the CSL This Week. Welcome, everybody. I'm Alex Bastiavanski, bringing you all the action from the Canadian Soccer League. On the show this week, we take a closer look at the North York Astros, a team who started off slow this year but have been just tearing it up over the past couple of months. Also, Darren Chambers of Burlington SC joins me here in the studio to talk about BSC's red-hot play as of late. But first, let's get to the highlights. And, for Brampton City United, the timing couldn't have been worse. After struggling all season to score goals, they recently lost their top striker, Leiford Allen, to the University of Windsor. Now, Brampton is all about advancing players, and they couldn't be happier for the 19-year-old. Unfortunately, they've been hard-pressed to replace those goals, and their offensive woes continued last Sunday against red-hot North York. The highlights now brought to you by Leica Sports, official sponsor of the Canadian Soccer League. Both teams were all smiles before the game, but by the end it was an entirely different story. 9th minute of play, North York with the chance of all chances. Igor Pizanyuk feeds the wide open Joey Mello. Ouch. Mello can't believe he missed that one. And then, things go from bad to worse for Joey as he pulls up in the 15th minute with a muscle strain. The Astros' top scorer has to be subbed out. The latest news, though, is that it's only day-to-day, however, so a big relief for North York. Much has been made of Brampton's scoring woes, and they continued in this game. Shot sliding just wide of the post. On to the second half we go. The always dangerous Pizanyuk speeds past Mohamed Diaby, but he too hammers the shot just wide of the post. 66th minute now, and the game starts to get violent. Bruno Lima takes a full kick to the throat by Rysandri Fernandez right in the box. Fernandez only got a yellow on the play, but the Astros go to the spot. It's Pizanyuk taking and making no mistake. Astros up 1-0 after 66 minutes. Brampton trying to get something going. Miguel Correas from 15 yards out, but he hammers it well over the top of the net. And then it's Correas again, right on the doorstep here, but once again, just can't find the mark. Moments later, off the corner kick, it's a mad scramble in the box. The Astros with the goal line stand, just hanging on, still up 1-0. Then things break down for good in the 92nd minute. There's some rough play on the far sideline here. And then just watch as Francisco Juarez joins the battle, and things deteriorate from there as a brawl almost ends up breaking out. Juarez gets red carded, and then on the way off, he gets involved with the Astros bench, as does Rysandri Fernandez, the guy in the boxer's pose there. Brampton ended up with 3 red cards by the time it was all said and done, and the final insult is they drop a 1-0 decision. It's no shortage of drama in this contest as the Astros continue their winning ways, while Brampton has lost 3 straight games now. Well, London City was brimming with confidence heading into their matchup with Toronto, Croatia last weekend. After struggling for the first couple of months of the season, City's been on a run lately, unbeaten in 4, capped off with a huge 5-3 win over powerful Kingston the previous weekend. But the Croats have been surging as well, and they brought City's win streak to a jarring halt on Saturday night. Things were scoreless until the 27th minute. Stellar ball movement by the Croats. It ends up at the feet of Pedro Manalo, who fights off the defender and smokes it home. 1-0 Toronto on Manalo's 6th marker of the season. On to the second half we go, and surprise, surprise, it's London's main man, Mladen Grgic, making things happen. The CSL's leading scorer, Mladen, notches his 18th of the campaign, and we're all knotted up at 1 apiece. Soon after, Hayden Fitzwilliams works it out front to Ante Zivkovic, but great stop by the London keeper to keep it a tie game. Then it's Mikola Chakula with the feed to Anis Handunovic, but once again, stellar save by the City keeper. But finally, the dam breaks in injury time, and this is nice. Zivkovic with the flying volley to knock it home and stick a dagger into the heart of London City. 2-1 Croats is your final score, and with the Astros winning as well, that's an important win. Toronto maintain their 7-point lead for second place in the standings. Other game scores to tell you about: York Region just continuing to roll, still undefeated on the season. They blank struggling Niagara 4-0. Then September 7th, Kingston struggling themselves. They get doubled up by SC Waterloo 4-2 at Warrior Stadium. Finally, Burlington can't get 3 points anyway against a Serbian team that was down to 9 men, a 0-0 draw. The standings: York Region still unbeaten as mentioned with 36 points, followed by Toronto Croatia with 29. London City is now the last playoff team. They've got 17 points. Niagara at the bottom with 8. They are struggling. Remember, CanadianSoccerLeague.ca for all the latest news, stats, and standings. We got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. Well, it goes without saying that 2013 was a dream season for SC Waterloo. In just their third year in the Canadian Soccer League, the team captured the playoff championship, downing a powerful Kingston squad in the process. Now, a huge part of their title run was the dynamic play of midfielder Adis Hisesic. The young Bosnian was one of the league's top scorers, and while he's not quite on the pace he was last year, he's still one of the CSL's best, and is a key reason why the squad has surged up to 5th in the standings after a slow start. Adis Hisesic, this week's player profile, brought to you by De Thomas Financial, official sponsor of the Canadian Soccer League. Adis Hisesic comes into the 2014 CSL season on a high. His 17 goals last year led his team and was among the tops in the league. And of course, he helped lead SC Waterloo to the playoff title.
Like SC Waterloo is the young team, you know. He started working about 2010, the SC Waterloo, you know. In 2013, we are the champions. You know what I mean? It's really, they did a really good job. Like everyone's, like manager, coach, everyone's, you know, whole team.
Hisesic was already match fit for the league kickoff back in May. For him, there is no off-season, as in November, he goes back to his home country of Bosnia to play professionally there.
Yeah, like during the season here in Canada, I'm here, like 6 months, like from May until 1st November. And last year when the league finished, like 3rd November, was with the final, yeah, right? And after final, I went to the Bosnia, and one club from Bosnia, First League, NK Travnik. They was like calling me to play for them, and I accept. Why not? Because like I got a lot of, you know, free space between the next season of Canada.
While the 27-year-old Hisesic has only notched 4 goals this season, he brings far more than just scoring to the pitch.
He's really technically sound. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit. Like, he's really technically sound, and when it comes to certain areas, he can finish from anywhere. Left foot, right foot. He'll score a goal from 40 yards out and make it look like it was nothing. Like, his ability to score and his neck for scoring is just amazing. Like, I wish I had that, you know? Like, certain people have it, you know, and he's gifted and he has that, you know, special tool to score like that.
He's very confident, you know, like, as you know, last season he was our, I think, first scorer. He's always on the good position, you know. He have that ability, he have a good speed, you know. He's always there, you know. He's running, even he can go with the ball, he can beat 2-3 players easy, you know.
Oh, it's so funny because his English is just getting better now. You want to hear him telling me to come on and push harder, you know, it sounds funny, I was making fun of him, but yeah, on the field, he's a good guy, he's a good leader, you know, and he's just developing and just growing each day.
Sean Brown had the chance to get to know Hisesic better this winter overseas.
We played on the same team in Europe. We were playing in Bosnia, actually, and he kind of showed me around his town, and I got to know him on a different level, and he's a really level-headed guy, and he's cool, and I think he's really underrated. He's really amazing, and especially at a higher level when we were in Europe, to see him play, it was just amazing.
Hisesic has felt right at home here in Canada, with so many Eastern Europeans on the team, including one of his best friends, Bosnian Ranko Goljanin, taking him under his wing.
First time when I heard he's gonna come, you know, like here in this club, like last year, I get happy because I met him like 2 years ago, and we are so good friends, you know.
he's very nice guy actually. Like we like to, like he's a good singer too. Like one thing about him, and probably that's he's more happy, you know. We like to sing some our songs, you know, like and to make fun, you know, to make to be happy.
How have you liked Canada?
I like so much, really, really, really. I really like it. Like everything is like same, like my country, the weather and everything. You know, we are all together. You know, like wherever we move together, like a family. You know.
My name is Akili Freitas. I play attacking midfield for Kingston FC. What I bring to the team is speed, skill and goal scoring. I think my speed is a big asset to the team, you know, especially with the dynamics of our game. This season I think we had an up and down season so far, especially for the talent that we have on the team. I think Guillaume is a big asset to the team with his goal scoring, and also the veteran players like Kata is also a big asset to our team to go forward to the playoffs. Our coach, Colin Mondoon, is a very intense guy. He demands a lot from his player, which is good. He expects the best from us, but he's also a good guy in overall perspective of his view of football. I think for the rest of the season, we're going to have a good season. Also, I believe 100% that we're going to win the playoffs.
We got to take a quick break, but stick around. The CSL this week. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. I'm joined now in the studio by Burlington SC forward Darren Chambers. Darren, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So first year in the CSL for you. You join up with Burlington. Let's just start off with how it is you ended up with the team, because there's a connection with Nicholas Lindsay, of course, your top striker, one of your top strikers on that team, former MLS guy, and you Nick go way back. So how did this start?
Yeah, we go way back from recreational soccer, playing soccer just for fun, you know what I mean? It's like, from the first day I played, he seen my skills, like, oh my God, what are you doing? Come make something off this. And I'm just like, you know what? Might as well go and do it. You know what I mean? I have the skill, I have the talent to do it, so why not do it? And
did he actually sit you down one time and say, come join us in Burlington?
He sat me down. He's like, oh man, I just got this great opportunity. I'm here with Burlington, a growing team, we're new in the team, and they're looking for players, and you think you'd be an excellent addition to the team. So I was like, you know what? We've been friends for so long, you won't steer me wrong. Jump on board with him, and then here I am at Burlington, playing for Burlington.
And how are you enjoying the Burlington experience so far? Last year you played in the Ontario Soccer League.
Yes, I played in the Ontario Soccer League.
And who did you play for last year?
I played for Ebony Juniors.
Ebony Juniors.
Yes.
And how are you liking the CSL experience so far? One thing that Nick mentioned a couple times to me is that he thinks Burlington's a fantastic place to play because they take it, you know, there are different variations among teams about how often they train and things like that. Yeah. And with Burlington, he says it's constant.
It's constant training.
And it's a great way to grow.
I believe 4 to 5 times a week sometimes. Wow. And you know, we put in a lot on the pitch. We try to stay as a unit even when we practice, and we have very good activities when we practice. So from the transition to OSL to CSL, Brampton has shown me a lot of the way to develop my techniques and my abilities to play better as in more individual.
So it has helped you grow your game?
Yes,
you
definitely.
Feel playing in the
because
CSL,
it gives me more individual practice where I could work on aspects of my game that you couldn't really do in OSL because you have to do more of the group activities.
Right.
Yes.
The first thing that pops out about you, and it's what all your teammates will say as well, and opposition as a matter of fact as well, who I've talked to, is your speed. No question. And you've referred to before, you said you were a track athlete before.
I used to be track. I used to do track competitively until I got up to grade 7.
Right.
And then I just put all my energy into football. So naturally, I'm naturally fast, but having the track definitely helped me get a little bit faster. Yeah. And then with the practice in Burlington got me doing, it's getting me a little bit faster too.
Right.
So I try my best to use my speed.
So what else do you bring to this squad then?
I bring to the squad, me, Nick, we bring that dynamic duo to the squad as in speed, and we could pass the ball, possession ball, and we're very attacking minded. We're not scared to take on players. We take on players and we get the job done.
Right. You guys had a great start to the season.
Great start.
For a while there, you were up in second place. You were chasing York Region.
Yeah.
And then you had a pretty significant drop-off for a little while there. You had a 5-game losing streak where I think you were outscored like 16-2 or something along those lines.
Yeah, around that.
What happened? That's the question.
What
happened
there?
With
that was Nick was gone for a while too, which is a main part of
Nick suffered a knee injury, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He was gone for a while, and then we had a change of coaching staff where a couple players had left and went back home, and we had new players coming in, so we had to build back the chemistry together. So all that took, in effect, with the balance of the team, that kind of threw everything off. But as of right now, we're trying to kind of picking it back up, which is the right time for playoffs.
Right.
Right.
And you guys, you have picked it up
We
over
picked
the
it up.
last little bit. Now, the last couple of weeks anyway, win against Brampton,
Yes.
which was
Well
huge
needed.
for
It was
your
a big win.
confidence as well,
Yeah,
right?
confidence and playoff berth.
Right.
Yes.
And then your last game you played against Serbia, now you
Yes.
tied them. Serbia is a
Yes.
very strong team.
Yes, and they're right behind us. I
But
believe.
you did mention
Yes.
you were a little bit disappointed by it, and because they were down to 9 men, right?
9 men. They were down to 9 men. 2 red cards in the game.
Right.
We kept throwing everything at them, the kitchen sink, everything, but they came up big. They played strong. They played good with their 9 men, and for us, it felt like a loss for us because we needed those points to move us clearer in the top, to finish top 3, top 4.
Right. Better than the last time you played them, though.
Way better.
Which, again, so the worst loss of the season
Worst
for you
loss of the
guys.
season, but
And
we have to
Dern wasn't
say
there, Nick wasn't there.
You know, it was like
Right.
2 firepower right and left.
6-0 loss at
6-0,
Lamport
I believe,
Stadium, which was
yes.
shocking, but that
Yes.
was by far your worst loss.
Worst
And
loss.
So at least to tie this time, even though I
Yes.
know you're saying it feels like a
Yeah,
loss.
it feels like a loss.
Yeah. Let's go back to Nick for a second here, because you guys, you mentioned that. You guys were close growing up.
Yeah.
And what's it like, first of all, to finally actually be able to play competitive soccer with one of your best friends?
Yes, it's
First of all, let's go with that. Yeah, what's it like finally?
It's amazing feeling. It's like playing with a brother. You know what I mean? Like on and off the field. Like anywhere Nick is on the field, anywhere I'm on the field, we know. It's like we're linked. You know, it's like he could put the ball anywhere, I could put the ball anywhere. We look for each other. We make the team so much better when we're both together on the pitch.
Right.
So playing with Nick has been a great experience.
And Nick just returned
and
against Serbia.
He just returned against our first game from his 3-game suspension.
So he's back from injury now.
Yes.
Let's just talk about Nick for 1 second, because he's a guy who previously played in Major League Soccer.
Yes, he
First,
played
it's
MLS.
interesting because first he played in the CSL for the TFC Academy team, going back I think about 4 years now. And then he graduated he was one of those first players to actually graduate to the first team of TFC, and he was playing in Major League Soccer, and then suffered a knee injury. Suffered a knee injury and got released the next season, and then came to Burlington. Just talk about Nick and what he brings. Obviously, so much experience and so much skill.
Yeah, Nick brings a valuable experience at such a young age too, to be able to experience one of the highest levels you could play in North America football, and to bring that to the CSL, to bring that around the players, it's a great experience. It's a major achievement for a guy of his age, and he's one of the many guys that I can honestly say I'm proud to call a friend on and off the pitch, because he's such an amazing individual.
Right. Well, Nick's back. You guys have you've picked it up again.
Yes.
Now you're ascending instead of descending, and it's going to be exciting to watch you guys down the stretch and see if you can continue on. You're in a playoff position right now, and the push is going to continue. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Definitely. Thank you so much,
All right.
Alex.
The CSL This Week will return in just a moment. Welcome back. You know, something special has been happening in North York this year. Now, the Astros have traditionally been a front runner when it comes to developing young talent in the CSL. The trade-off has been they've paid the price when it comes to wins and losses. North York hasn't made the playoffs since 2008, but this year has seen a dramatic turnaround. The Astros have rocketed up to 3rd in the standings, and we take a closer look now at the secret to their success. North York, this week's CSL Team Report, brought to you by Days Inn, official hotel of the Canadian Soccer League. The 2014 season started with a whimper rather than a bang for the North York Astros. With losses in their first 2 games, the team was slow out of the gate and searching for chemistry.
For the first month, it wasn't too pleasant. We were still trying to gel as a team. We let go of a lot of players from last year. This year we got a lot of new players, a lot of young players from Joseph's academy team, and just trying to gel and whatnot. So trying to gel, it took some time, took quite a bit of time, but you lose some, you win some.
Then came the turning point. In their 3rd game, the Astros squared off against the 2013 CSL regular season champions, Kingston FC. All seemed to be going as expected. Kingston jumped out to a 2-0 lead and led 3-1 at one point. But North York refused to lay down and die. they scrapped their way back to a 3-3 tie, and their confidence soared.
You know, the Kingston game was really important for us because knowing that Kingston is a strong team and given what they did last year in the CSL, we had to prove our point and let them know that we're a team to be messed with, you know, and it's hard knowing that they are a strong team and they're coming here knowing that they're going to be here for the win. And we stood our ground, and it shows a lot of character to come back from the goals that they had, and we showed a lot of in our finishing.
Since that point, the Astros have been a force. The squad reeled off an 8-game unbeaten streak and shot up to 3rd in the standings.
You know, a lot of what had to do with our winning streak had to do with the character of our team and the players and the cohesiveness of our playing and gelling so much more than just being a bunch of individual players. You know, it takes more than just good soccer players to actually build something. And you know, we showed that in coming together and coming with strong finishes with each and every game that we played.
Kind of had Igor as our interim coach for the time being before Jorge came. We went on a good run.
Even more impressive is that much of the Astros streak took place while their top 2 defenders, Antoine Paul and Javon Vanderreyden, were on trial with professional clubs in Argentina. The two have since returned to bolster the lineup, and for scoring punch, Joey Mello and Jose de Souza both sit in the top 5 of league scoring, giving the Astros a lethal 1-2 punch.
They are such good friends. Like, they know where to be off the ball. They know where to go when one's to the left, one's to the right, if one's cutting through, one's pushing back. I mean, they can talk to each other without even knowing where each other are. Like, they're just amazing players, you know, great skill.
The 8-game unbeaten streak finally ended August 30th against Toronto, Croatia, but the team feel they learned essential lessons from the defeat.
A really good takeaway from that game is that we never gave up. We never gave up the whole time, even though we were 1 man down. I think it was a good thing because we know that we just don't stop fighting, and no matter what, we're going to be competitive.
With the Astros hosting the CSL Championship weekend, October 25th and 26th, the team is pumped at the possibility of playing on their home pitch for league supremacy.
The Croatia game was a big one to see who are the big boys in the tournament, and we were a part of that group. So we had to keep our head high and finish the season strong, so we can show up and be at our home turf for the championship.
And before we go, let's take a look at the Olympic trophies play of the week. It's Toronto, Croatia. First, Ainsley Deer with the gorgeous long pass to a flying Ante Zivkovic. And that was a dagger because that was an injury time. It gives the 3 points to Toronto, Croatia over London City. Ante Zivkovic, our Olympic trophies play of the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. But just remember that for all the latest CSL news, stats, and standings, you can head to CanadianSoccerLeague.ca, and you can also follow the league on Twitter at CSL_soccer. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you next week.